Cardiff lie 51 places below Reading on the league ladder, and they're without a manager, but they went in front when Anthony Carr's long throw was flicked on. Kevin Nugent heading home, low to Nicky Hammond's left. Reading's equaliser came 8 minutes later. Trevor Morley heading on, Carla Saba clambering above the home defenders to score and earn Reading their replay. Sunderland are the Football League's form team at present, and Lee Clark one of the big Sunderland successes of the season. But he gifted possession to David Kelly on 77 minutes, an accurate delivery to Andy Parkinson, and he fired Tranmere into the last 16, simultaneously ending Sunderland's magnificent 17-game unbeaten run. They have also been beaten in 6 consecutive visits to Prenton Park. Charlton and Wolves are both chasing promotion to the Premier League, so an extra cup replay is not what either wanted. But that was the outcome of an even contest at the Valley. Dean Richards personifying Wolves' resurgence after his own long fight with injury, heading the visitors in front 3 minutes after the interval. But Charlton then rallied, and after Sean Newton made good progress down the right-hand flank, Keith Jones fired home his 4th goal of the season to extend Charlton's unbeaten home run to 11.
Yes.
A tough-looking away assignment for last season's beaten semi-finalist Wimbledon. They scraped a draw at the McAlpine Stadium 2 years ago. This time Neil Ardley crashed the ball past Steve Harper on 61 minutes, and that was the difference. Wimbledon forced into 2 changes inside the first 10 minutes, producing a gritty defensive display to hold a narrow advantage. Leeds United have stumbled home and away in cup football in recent times. Grimsby Town have a habit of causing cup upsets, and they've been surging up Division 2. It was tight until the man they call the Terminator punished Grimsby in the first half injury time. The Dutchman Rob Molinar powering home the header from the corner. Grimsby continued to make it hard, but Leeds at last established a winning lead on 79 minutes. Harry Kewell setting up Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank. He beat 2 defenders and Grimsby's keeper Aidan Davison to become Leeds' top scorer with 11 and send Leeds into the last 16. A big West Midlands derby with 2 bookings and then a goal within the first 4 minutes. Simon Grayson firing past Alan Miller after a Villa corner as the home side set out to erase the memory of last week's league humiliation by Blackburn. Albion competed in most departments, but around the hour mark, Dwight York struck twice. Gary Charles' long ball setting him up for the first one. And just 2 minutes later, York showing too much strength and know-how for Sean Murphy. York revelling in his return to an orthodox striker's role. Game over as a contest. But Villa were still determined to put their local rivals firmly in their place. Stan Collymore was offered too much space to claim only his 5th goal since the big money move to Villa Park. A fierce cup tie between Premier League and local rivals. Derby starting favourites on the strength of 4 straight wins over Coventry, 1 in this competition. But the Sky Blue skipper Dion Dublin headed George Boateng's cross past Mark Poom on 37 minutes, and Coventry seized on their advantage. Seconds before half-time, Dublin getting his 2nd of the day and 13th of the season, getting onto Gary Breen's flick on first for his 5th in 5 games. Coventry doubly pleased Dublin turned down a midweek move to Middlesbrough. Derby have had a great season, but this was Coventry's day. It's fully 10 years since Manchester United last lost a home FA Cup tie, and Alex Ferguson jealously guards a personal record free of cup humiliation. It was a United regular Andy Cole that set the tone for the afternoon as early as the 10th minute. But otherwise, England's top team showed a hatful of changes that still produced a hatful of chances. Brian McClare combining with Cole to set up Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to make it 2 before half-time. In the second period, Eric Nevland among the new faces. He came on for Ben Thornley as the changes continued. Denied by Walsall's brave keeper James Walker, but Cole in the right place to make it 3. Solskjaer also took the opportunity to boost his goal-scoring record after an injury hit first half of the campaign. But Walsall earned some consolation for their own attacking enterprise. Jean Perron's cross headed home by Roger Bully. The Division 2 side enjoying a moment that many Premier League outfits have sought in vain. United's response to that affront was typical. 2 minutes later, David Beckham's corner headed home by Ronnie Johnson. Walsall conceding 5, but emerging with pride intact as United remain in the hunt for 3 major trophies. Spurs fans hoped that this FA Cup tie would mark the start of their resurgence, with Bertie, Klinsmann, Ferdinand and Ginola all working together for the first time. But it was a first goal of the season for Sol Campbell on the half hour from Ginola's corner that put Spurs in front. For a time, the FA Cup looked like giving Spurs' season a traditional boost. But Barnsley looked more than competitive, certainly compared to their recent heavy league defeat at White Hart Lane. And when Ashley Ward turned inside Clive Wilson, referee Gerald Ashby was in no doubt that it was a penalty. Spurs' defensive frailties exposed yet again. The penalty chance smoothly converted by Neil Redfern. Spurs' worries intensified. Barnsley will certainly fancy their chances in a replay. Crystal Palace hadn't won at home all season. Leicester City boast one of the best defensive records in the game, but both reputations were demolished at Selhurst Park. Bruce Dyer capitalising on Matt Elliott's failure to clear, but he still had plenty to do to elude Casey Keller to fire Palace in front on 32 minutes. Just as Leicester looked like getting back into it, Dyer struck again. Once more, Elliott and Keller unable to snuff out the danger, and even though Dyer perhaps mishit the shot, it was enough to set him up for a hat-trick. And it arrived on 66 minutes. It wrapped up an unexpected home triumph. Leicester's season starting to look a little flat now. Palace hope to find the winning habit in the league urgently. There's generally lots of feeling in games between Birmingham and Stockport. This time at St Andrews, a total of 8 bookings and 2 sendings off. Brett Angel, one of the first to receive a yellow, and on 25 minutes, Stockport striker tangled once more with Steve Bruce. The veteran Birmingham defender looked to come off worst. And the referee, Gary Willard, ended Angel's afternoon prematurely. Even as Angel left the field angrily, the arguments continued, and at least one other Stockport player was booked. 6 minutes later, Birmingham went in front. Martin Granger's low corner, flicked on by Gary Ablett, and Brian Hughes scoring from close range. So Stockport a man down and a goal down at half-time. And on 53 minutes, Martin McIntosh clattering Birmingham's goal scorer to the ground. Referee Willard on hand again, this time to reduce Stockport to 9 men. As McIntosh made his way off, simultaneously Stockport's manager Gary Megson was making 3 immediate substitutions, and his bold effort to rescue the game looked like paying off when Alan Armstrong converted Simon Travis's low cross. The 9 men of Stockport looked like holding out for an unlikely replay. Then Hughes again produced a sharp finish for Birmingham's winner as their season goes from strength to strength. Ipswich Town have injected a goal threat into their lineup with the purchase of David Johnson. His header in first-half injury time, his 10th goal in 14 starts since he arrived at Portman Road for £1 million. In a frenzied final 10 minutes, United's hopes seemed to disappear when Chris Short, making a rare first-team appearance because of the Blades' long injury list, was sent off for kicking out at Maurizio Taricco. But the tide turned even later. Bobby Petta needlessly fouling Marcello inside the box. And that gave the visitors the chance to level. The veteran Dean Saunders penalty saved by Richard Wright, with the ball only rebounding to the Welsh international. He made sure a second time. Ipswich now have to go to Bramall Lane and start all over again.
Edgehill's cross, beaten away by Ferdinand. Forward, tremendous effort, slamming against the crossbar, and West Ham fortunate not to concede a goal. What an effort by Kincladze. That looked to be bound for the top of the net from the moment it left his foot, and West Ham very lucky to get away with that. Given away to Ian Brightwell. That's a useful ball in towards Rosler, and it comes to Paul Dickov. Great save! Magnificent goalkeeping from Forrest. And for the second time, Manchester City must have thought they were going to score. Lovely little knockdown, and a tremendous effort from Dickov from a difficult angle. But what about the save by Forrest? Anyone just joining us, or who's popped out for a cup of tea, let me tell you again that West Ham's early goal that we all thought stood, didn't. It's 0-0. But this one could stand, and surely there's nothing wrong this time as Berkovic shoots the ball home, and West Ham this time, I think we can say with certainty, are in front. It took 20 minutes to get a legal goal, but West Ham won't mind. Berkovic onto the through ball from Hartson, the finish as crisp and accurate as you like. His 7th goal of the season, and a bit of a reversal of the way goals have been coming for West Ham. Berkovic has laid on many this season for Hartson. This time it was Hartson laying one on for the little Israeli. How well he tucked it away. Lifted in towards Hartson. Brightwell's clearance. Lomas has picked it up for the umpteenth time, that little knockdown ball. Miscontrolled though by Lazaridis. Now Brown. Good challenge. Whitley. Here's Kincladze. Brilliant! Absolutely brilliant! Can he finish? He most certainly can! What a magnificent goal by Georgi Kincladze! Wonderful skill by the little Georgian. And in the 59th minute, Manchester City are back in it. What a goal. Wonderful. Quite possibly the only player on the pitch who could have scored it. Brilliant mazy run, tucking past 2 defenders, then a third. And the finish off the upright. Accurate as you would have expected. But here's Abu. They've got a problem now, City. The defender slips, and so did Abu. A massive slip-up. That should have been West Ham's 2nd goal. That is a bad, bad miss. It's been an eventful match from start to finish, really. Here's Brown for City. They'll be believing they can win it now. And why not? Certainly the initiative is with them at the moment. Dickov gets it back again to the little man Kinkladze, who turned brilliantly. How does he do it? Oh, how did he manage to turn in that space and still get a shot in? And it wasn't that far wide of target either. Wonderful skill. A turn there, and again here. Just off target this time. Kinkladze. This guy is absolutely different class, and a good ball into the middle. Now, is that a penalty? It is! Potts can't believe it, and Dickov is delighted. The challenge by Potts on Dickov has given Manchester City a penalty and a great opportunity now to take the lead and take their place in the 5th round. And you don't need to guess who's likely to step up and take it. But in fact, Kinkladze on this occasion has left it to Uwe Rosler. I do wonder about the wisdom of that. Rosler's not had a very good game. Kinkladze, the normal #1 penalty taker, has. Rosler with the big responsibility now for Manchester City. And he has missed in spectacular style. And I have to say, I think Manchester City made a mistake in not letting Kinkladze take that penalty. Rosler's not been on his game at all today. Kinkladze's been magnificent. If I'd have been Frank Clark, I would have been furious to see Rosler stepping up to take that instead of the little Georgian. Pearce gets up. And Lomas, yes! Would you believe it? Steve Lomas, back on his old ground, has scored what could well be the winner for West Ham United. Less than 15 minutes to go, and a dream has come true for Lomas. If there's one ground in Great Britain he would love to have scored on, this is it. Frank Clark was the manager who let him go. And although the move has turned out to be terrific for him, he's done so well at West Ham, you can imagine the satisfaction he will get from scoring this. Only his 2nd goal as a West Ham player this season.
4 seasons Arsenal have gone out in the FA Cup to First Division opposition. Sheffield United, Millwall and Bolton. They had a very uncertain time indeed against Port Vale. Let's see how they do against Middlesbrough, who are 2nd in the nationwide First Division. There's a break on here. Overmars is through. An early chance for Arsenal. An early goal for Arsenal. And that goal timed at 1 minute 5 seconds. What a start. Well, no problems for Arsenal getting off on the wrong foot. Mark Overmars scoring virtually in the first minute. Not an easy chance, but he tucked the ball past Mark Schwarzer, and it's 1-0 to the visiting team. Free kick to Middlesbrough. We've had nearly 19 minutes of the game. Middlesbrough trail 1-0. Mark Overmars, the goal scorer so far. Townsend. Anelka chasing the ball. He's the sole Arsenal candidate at the moment, but look at that ball. Terrific ball. Parlour, it's 2! What a superb breakaway attack. And Ray Parlour punishes the absent Middlesbrough defence once again. This is becoming an embarrassment for Middlesbrough. Anelka control the ball and turn the ball on superbly to Parlour with an emphatic finish. He makes it Middlesbrough 0, Arsenal 2. Bergkamp. And here's Merson. The goalkeeper's come a long way. Can Paul Merson score against his former club? Oh, yes, he can. Look at his delight as penalty gives Middlesbrough some hope that they can overturn this 2-goal deficit. It's just a 1-goal deficit now. It's Middlesbrough 1, Arsenal 2. I'm not sure here why Manninger raced out of his 18-yard box. There was cover there in terms of Adams, but once he had raced out of his penalty area, he gave Merson a terrific opportunity. Even without David Seaman, Martin Keown and Ian Wright, Arsenal appear to be successful. Unless Beck and Merson can do something. This is Beck! He's through! Oh, what a weak finish! That surely would have given Middlesbrough at least a replay. Nobody can quite believe that Mikael Beck, put through by Paul Merson, didn't finish Arsenal off here. Terrific skill by Merson to pick out Beck. What a weak finish in the end by Mikael Beck.
Sheffield Wednesday getting us underway, and the fans here fully expecting another try. The early effort, and it must have been within the first 10 seconds, coming from Benito Carboni. That might have been a contender for the quickest FA Cup goal in history. Wasn't too far away, Carboni. Here's Gallagher for Blackburn Rovers. Ripley making a run. Here he is. Sutton is in the middle. Duff is arriving too. Oh, and here's Sutton. And it was a bad mistake in that Sheffield Wednesday defence. And Chris Sutton has made Wednesday pay. John Newsom completely missed his kick. A real hash of it. And Chris Sutton said thank you very much indeed. Couldn't believe his luck here, Sutton. And Blackburn Rovers, in the shape of Sutton, ahead already. Ripley's cross, but Newsom really should have cleared that. Pembridge. Decent looking ball. Hendry gets up there. Whittingham plays it back in again, and the header tipped over the bar in spectacular fashion by Tim Flowers. Newsom it was, trying to make amends for the error that cost the goal. Here's Whittingham. That's a good push shot. It might have gone in. Splendid save by Tim Flowers. He had to get there as well, because you had the impression this was just sneaking in. Difficult angle. And England class goalkeeping from Tim Flowers. Rudy's continued with his run down the middle. Is this his first Sheffield Wednesday goal? It might be, but Oncho gets across in the nick of time. And he's having a great game back there, the Swiss international. And here's Rudy again now. And this time McKinley breaks it up. Now Sutton. Blackburn looking for the quick counter. They've got the men to do it. Here's Wilcox into the middle, and Gallagher's shot. A remarkable save from Pressman, but in by Tim Sherwood, and it's 2-0 Blackburn. In its way, a super goal. A lightning-fast counter-attack. It looked like Sheffield Wednesday had got away with this. And look at that, it was Sherwood that started the move. Sutton, Wilcox, Gallagher, so unlucky not to score. Great save from Pressman. Sherwood, superbly put away. He's been in great goal-scoring form for a midfield player already this season. This is his 7th of the campaign, and it might put Blackburn out of reach and into the last 16. Very good finish indeed by the skipper. Pembridge is Rudy. Di Canio, good looking cross that one, and Carboni has hit the post. Still might be something. Whittingham's shot blocked by Valeri, and there was Wednesday's opportunity to maybe just steal back into it. Di Canio's cross, Carboni free header, and the harshest professional judgment would have to be should have done better. Gallagher, Duff, can he make it 3 here? Oh, terrific control. That is a wonderful goal. Damien Duff Wasn't he cool? So confident, such belief, 18 years of age. Just take a look at this. This is one of the goals of the season. Flicked it over the head of the defender and finished with aplomb. Just leaves Ian Nolan for dead, and as it comes down, volleys it into the net. This is some player.
Gillespie with a chance to burst forward. Now Stevenage have got to get organised at the back here. It's a long run from Gillespie, and it's a good-looking cross to Alan Shearer. What a way to come back. There is only one Alan Shearer. And if there was ever going to be a headline maker, it would surely have to be England's goal scorer supreme. Brilliant work from Gillespie. Shearer was not marked properly. That is a critical error. And an easy header for him. That's something that even Dalglish maybe never achieved in his career. Solomon. Did well, Jason Solomon. Has been a little quiet early on here, Solomon, but we know about his goal-scoring pedigree from midfield. This is a better break for Stevenage. Driven into a danger area! Maybe there are to be fairy tales, but not this time. I think it's an offside flag. What a good build-up it was from Stevenage. Treble was away and looked clearly onside down this left-hand side. It must have been the most forward player judged offside, and it looked, I have to say, a good decision. Stapleton. Been a little quiet as well, Simon Stapleton. There's a great-looking cross. Superb save by Hislop for Newcastle from Neil Treble. What a lovely move. Stapleton's been another of the midfield players who's been a little quiet for Stevenage, but producing a quality ball in then. Quality save from a good header. Stevenage have matched Newcastle for chances now. Gary Crawshaw's corner. It's a good one. They're level. And it's been coming, to be honest with you. What a great moment for Stevenage Borough and for all of them. This is a party that could last a few minutes. Newcastle have defended the other corners well, but not that one. And I think Pistone was the defender who didn't get off the ground. Watson. Good ball up to Rob Lee. Gillespie shown inside again and taking the invitation. Another good run from Gillespie. Great looking cross. Alan Shearer. Superb attack from Newcastle United. Great ball from Gillespie. Barnes just gets a little touch to it. Oh, it shaved the crossbar on the way over the top as well. But a miss is as good as a mile.
Being players, actually, Stevenage United. There is a place on the bench for a former Newcastle United season ticket holder, a real fan of this club. Now a Stevenage player, Paul Thompson, who's not been involved in the side all season. He was injured in pre-season, the same injury that Alan Shearer had, virtually at the same time. Shearer got back quicker. Thompson could get on the pitch tonight. Pistone. Oh, this looks promising for Alan Shearer. It's a flag and a goal. After 15 minutes, Shearer gets the ball just over the line. That's enough for Newcastle.
This is a super break. Again, those wide areas, I've talked about them, and they work it to perfection. Pistone's pace is too much for Dillner. Shearer, now Smith thinks he saved this. I think that's close. Shearer thinks it in, but the linesman's right in line. almost immediately. There was no hesitation from the linesman. Shearer thought it was in, Smith thought it wasn't. Linesman agreed with Alan Shearer.
Taken on by Howie. Newcastle pushing an extra man forward. Breaks for Batty. Rodley, flag has stayed down. Stevenage looking to the linesman. And it is 2-0. He's done it again. Another header. Alan Shearer.
Rodley playing right on the fringes. I think he's just on. The young right back, I think, was just deep enough. And when he struck that cross at the back post, you felt there was only one result coming from it. And that was that Alan Shearer was going to put this tie beyond Stevenage. And I think that is what he does right here.
Well, the tie has produced a hat-trick of Shearer headers, and Newcastle surely heading for the 5th round. Some fresh legs out there for Stevenage. Be all freshened up if they could halve the deficit here. Inman. Oh, they had done! My goodness! It's put in by Crawshaw.
Well, it's a little deflection that makes all the difference here. It's just half a block on the cross, and somehow it gets through to Crawshaw. You don't think he can get there. There's a little flick. Takes it over Albert's head. It's a neat little finish. Pistone only half blocks it. He controls it absolutely first class. A really, really good finish from Crawshaw.
A birthday goal for Gary Crawshaw. More important than that, it's put life back into Stevenage and into the match generally. Inman, well, there's the sort of decision that you feel that might have gone the other way, but if it had been contact by a Newcastle player and a Stevenage player, it's had to be a cross here from Gillespie. It's Rodley moving in. Well, the goalkeeper wasn't sure.
Wasn't an easy header. Takes a little flight and the pace is off the ball. Just after it crosses it, it's dying in front of Rob Lee. He's got to really try and put the power in it himself. Because of that, probably just lacked the touch accuracy.
Well, a 4th round FA Cup tie that looked a formality when it was drawn has been anything but that. The place in the 5th round to Newcastle, the praise to Stevenage Borough, who fought to their very last against such a big club, its star players and its powerful manager. And Gary Crawshaw's goal kept them in it after 2 from Alan Shearer, the first of which will be studied over and over again. It is in the record books that the ball did cross the line. Shearer got a second in the second half. That seemed to be curtains. The two teams do seem to be parting here, Andy, on much better terms.
Yeah, I think that's fair, and so it should be. Newcastle will feel that they've won the match, quite rightly so. It wasn't a vintage performance. Didn't go to the script. They would like to have really rubbed their noses in it, so to speak, Martin. I'm sure they would like to luxury 3 or 4 or 5 goals even tonight. The Stevenage showed us yet again they're made of sterner stuff than that. They went 2 down, could have folded, fought back. Crawshaw got them back in the game. You have to admire what they've done over 2 games. You might not admire what's been said, but I have to admire what's been done on the pitch. And that's what I think more of. And so should everyone else in this scene.